Hey, what's up? It's Janice, also known as Crowned Ori. Okay, so look, I want to talk about the soul and its journey, the soul's journey. Okay, um, it, and I I want to talk about this because it has helped me in understanding who I am and understanding others, and just to be more balanced in my thoughts and my opinions. Okay, of others and myself. Okay, so when you have an understanding of this, it makes it easier to be understanding of others and yourself, like I said. Okay, so anyhow, so the journey of the soul, it's look at it like this. You have source, okay? And then source casts off sparks of itself, sparks of consciousness. And the sparks forget where they originate from, okay, in order to regain that memory of where they've come from. Okay. So this journey allows Source or God to evolve into higher levels of consciousness. Um, and when Source casts off sparks of itself, okay, it divides itself up. The illusion of separateness, is created. Okay. So the sparks of Source, which then is entities, which then become fragments. Okay, um, because of the illusion of separateness, that means there are separate bodies, separate identities, just the illusion of separate. Okay, and the goal again is self knowledge or remembrance. And if I didn't say it before, I'm saying it now. The goal is to remember who you are. Okay. Now, I want you to keep in mind sentient beings were created out of source. They're also known as entities. So you have source, sparks of entities, okay? Um, uh, and the sparks of entities temporarily separate into hundreds of individual essences, which are also known as fragments. So you're going to hear me use fragments, essence, source, entities. You're going to hear me use all these phrases when I'm talking about the soul's journey. Okay. Let's see. So a fragment takes on a temporary personality, which unalives with the body each lifetime. Okay. But the lessons and experiences are recorded by the essence. So you keep that. Your soul records your experiences so it stays with your soul. Okay. So anyway, source, sparks of entities, fragments, and then to the physical plane. So we're going to talk about there are seven planes of existence. Okay, there are seven planes of existence. Um, we have the physical plane, astral, um, causal, akashic, mental, messianic, Budaic, and source. So it's like back to source. So it starts off at source, fragments, okay, source, sparks, entities, fragments. Level one, I said level one. Level one, the physical plane. And you guessed it, us human beings are on the physical plane, okay? The physical plane, the energies here vibrates the slowest, okay? Um, and slow vibration appears as a solid. So we see ourselves again as separate on the physical plane. On higher planes, we're able to merge and to separate at will. But on this plane, we are solids. We are perceived to be solid. There's an illusion of separateness. So there's an illusion that we are solid. Okay. And I know that's a lot of people might be like, it's not an illusion. We are solid based on how slow we vibrate. Because if we vibrated faster, we wouldn't be solids. We wouldn't appear to be solid. Okay. So on the physical plane, we learn through the interactions with our fragments. This is why I say we are not separate. If you remember, a fragment is broken off of an entity, which is broken off of source. Source, entity, fragment. Start off from source, get broken into an entity. An entity is a collection of essences, a collection of souls. It's hundreds of souls, okay? That is what an entity is. So when y'all be talking about entity, blah, 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 understand that it is a collection of souls. All right? So on the physical plane, we are interacting with ourselves and a fragment of an entity of source. Okay? This is why you will hear myself and others say, we are one. This is why you will hear us say, we are interacting with ourselves. Okay? And then it makes you think of how you treat others. How you treat others is really how you're treating yourself. So you might want to watch that. Okay? Our essence decides the characteristics we will act from in each life so that we can learn as much as we can from many different perspectives. And once we master a phase or a cycle, we move on to the next phase or cycle. Okay. On our essence wants to experience so it doesn't avoid or seek pain and pleasure. It wants to experience. Okay. The more experience, the more knowledge of source, the more knowledge of self. Okay. The more experience you gain, the thinner the filter becomes for you. And when I say filter, I mean like your remembrance. So the thinner the filter becomes, and you'll remember more. It'll just be easier, or you'll just remember more, like I said. And then we're gonna so now, okay, I'm gonna sum that up. Source sparks off. So source sparks of entities divides itself into essences, souls. And from the soul, they go on to the physical plane. Okay, remember there are 7 planes. The physical plane is where we are. And then not after, but while we're on the physical plane, we're talking about souls now. While the soul is on a physical plane, there are 5 stages of the physical plane in which the soul enters. And then there's 2 outside. So the 5 stages on the physical plane are the infant stage, the baby stage, the young stage, the mature stage, and the old stage. And then the 2 that's outside of the physical plane is transcendental and infinite. Okay? And it takes many lifetimes to move from one stage to the next. One stage. So you're on the infant stage for many, 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 many lives. You're